The start of San Francisco's season truly couldn't be going better. They're 2-0. They have 2 interceptions in both of their games. Christian McCaffrey is the league's leading rusher, and Brock Purdy, frankly, is looking like a franchise quarterback. But now, the Niners need to turn their attention towards the future. More specifically, the New York Giants game that's going to occur Thursday. And in this video, I hope to break down how the Niners hope to beat the Giants. To begin, one of the key deciding factors in this game will be preparation, rest, and player health. I'm putting all these together as one topic. Since this is a Thursday night game, this is a sped up week, meaning these coaches need to create a game plan that their players can actually learn in this short amount of time, but also make sure their players are rested enough and healthy enough that they don't sustain an injury that will carry out throughout the season. And this is maybe more important in this game specifically because we've already had some news about some star players missing time. One of those guys is Saquon Barkley. He's been rolled out. And on San Francisco's side, while we haven't received word if Brandon Aiyuk is going to be out yet, he is questionable. And this is what I want to say. If Brandon Aiyuk is fully ready to go and he's not going to re-risk injury, I want to see him out there. But if not, I really wouldn't mind seeing a guy like Ronnie Bell go on the field and just get some reps and also allow Brandon Aiyuk to recover because he's going to be a key piece in this team's success going forward. So with those caveats out of the way, let's jump into how San Francisco schematically is going to destroy the New York Giants. To start, looking at San Francisco's offense, I think this game plan is going to be similar to the one we've seen throughout the year, and that's going to be a heavy dose of CMC and probably Elijah Mitchell this week as well. Honestly, it wouldn't even be a surprise to me if Kyle Shanahan wanted to run it a little bit more. Since the New York Giants are giving up 4.6 yards a carry, that's good. Francisco's game plan is probably to rush it around 30 times this game. They also are going to have to throw it, and luckily for them, the Giants also aren't the best here. They're ranking 21st in the league at yards per attempt at 6.6 yards. In comparison, on the offensive side of the ball for the Niners, they're averaging 7.9 yards an attempt. That's good for 4th in the NFL. So on San Francisco's offensive side, I think their game plan is going to be pretty similar to the game plan they had against the Rams and the week before. Sure, they're going to throw in a couple of passes here and there to really challenge the defense, even deep at times, but their core foundation has to be the running game and Christian McCaffrey. But let's say the Giants are able to sell out and stop the run. I still think it's going to be an extremely tough game for them. They're facing a Niners offense who just catches the ball and puts up crazy yards per attempt, where their defense is really the back half of the league in both passing and rushing. Compounding problems for the New York Giants, they also just can't get to the quarterback. They have 0 sacks on the entire year. Additionally, they have 0 interceptions. So now covering one side of the ball, it appears that San Francisco has an advantage on the offensive side of the ball, and a big one at that. So now we need to take a step back and examine the Giants' offense compared to the Niners' defense. Much like San Francisco, the Giants pride themselves on the ability to run the ball, and they're pretty good at it too. They're number 12 in the league at yards per carry, coming in at 4.3. Interesting enough, San Francisco also isn't doing that great against the rush. They're only averaging 4.1 yards a carry on the defensive side of the ball. That's good for 17th in the NFL. So the Giants should probably try to. San Francisco struggled with mobile quarterbacks since Kyle Shanahan's really arrived on the scene. So in this game, a big thing that I want to watch is how Steve Wilks actually responds to Daniel, enough for a rating of 103.5. Daniel Jones was able to connect with a couple of different wide receivers during this game. One of the most notable people I want to briefly touch on is Jalin Hyatt. This guy's a rookie, but was able to get open deep. He was a key reason why the Giants were even able to come back from that huge deficit against the Arizona Cardinals. But he's not the only one. Darren Waller had 6 receptions for 76 yards. Darius Slayton had 3 receptions for 62 yards. And the list goes on. So even though the Giants, when we're looking at the Niners defense, something that becomes obvious is that Daniel Jones is going to have to deal with a lot of pressure. They have a pressure rate right around 40% this year. That's absurdly high. They also have 6 sacks to go along with that. Coincidentally, all of these pressures usually lead to the quarterback making bad decisions. And for San Francisco, they've been able to capitalize each time, it seems. They have 4 interceptions on the year. That's good for 2nd in the NFL. The Niners' strength against the pass doesn't end there though. They also come in at 6th across the entire NFL at yards per attempt, coming in at 4.9. In comparison, the New York Giants are only averaging 6.4 yards an attempt right now. That's good for 22nd in the NFL. So now that we went over the offense and defensive side of the ball for San Francisco, we need to talk about their kicker, Jake Moody. During this last game, he went 3 of 3 with a long of 57. I'm mentioning him because he was struggling during the preseason, but so far, when it counts, he looks almost as good as gold. So now that I covered San Francisco headed into this game, it's time for my score prediction. I predict that San Francisco will win once again, 30 this time to 10. While the Giants did recently have a nice comeback against the Arizona Cardinals, I can't get over what's happened in their last couple games. They were getting blown out against the Cardinals, and their first game against the Cowboys, they put up 0-40. But these are just my thoughts on San Francisco facing the Giants, and I want to hear your thoughts down below. It would also mean a ton to me if you liked and subscribed. And as always, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.